Disney's Snow White live-action remake is a colossal failure. It's rated the worst blockbuster in IMDb history with a 1.5 out of 10 rating with over 292,000 people reviewing it. Here's my favorite review. Rooting for the apple. Not only that, Disney is facing a class action lawsuit because of the CGI dwarves in the movie. Disney faces being sued over Snow White's snub of little people. Everyone hates that Rachel Zegler was cast for Snow White. No one likes Gal Gadot's acting.
Kalel, no!
This is a complete disaster. As of me recording this video, it is currently April 1st, and I decided to April Fool myself by watching this movie and really see if it's as terrible as the press is making it out to be. There has been a lot of controversy leading up to the releasing of this movie. When Rachel Zegler was cast as Snow White, people weren't happy because she wasn't white enough. Then people were upset with her for the way she was talking about the film in interviews.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again. So I watched it for the first time in probably 17 years.
That was an interview from 2 years ago, but when she was doing the press tour, she kept talking about how she dreamed of being Snow White. Doesn't really sound the same.
But I saw the logo and I went, that's my name, Snow White's up there, and I cried my eyes out.
People also didn't like the way that she portrayed the original story.
I know that you've told me before that your version of Snow White is different, and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
I love classic Disney movies, but I don't even remember Snow White that well. It was probably one of the ones I watched the least because I thought, why is this prince kissing a complete stranger lying down in the forest? On the lips?
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
Then I remember there were some film leaks. There were some pictures on set that Disney denied was actually the set. But the stories that accompanied them suggested that it wasn't going to be about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It was going to be about Snow White and the, let me read this, Snow White's diverse group of magical creatures of all sizes and genders. But then they did reshoots, and it turned out that they did end up using Seven Dwarfs, but then Disney decided to use CGI instead of casting real actors. Which doesn't make sense to me. Why not just hire real actors? This isn't the Sonic movie. It's not like you're animating animals. This isn't Lilo and Stitch, which I hope turns out really good. Even in the Wonka movie with Timothée Chalamet, they had a real actor playing the Oompa Loompa. That probably would have been a better idea than what they did here. The actress Allie Chapman even said,
well, you know, this is a movie, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's a movie that is supposed to have real dwarves, and instead Disney chose to use CGI to replace actors and actresses that are little people that are very talented.
Yeah, like sorry to interrupt you, Ali. You look up the original Snow White. The dwarves are the stars of the movie.
So on March 21st, the movie was released, and the box office results were terrible, and it's only getting worse. Opening weekend, it made $42 million. The weekend after that, it has gone down 66%, and it only made $14 million. And their budget was $209 million. So they're probably not going to break even.
What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it. All right, congrats, Rachel.
Now, after watching the film, I cannot say that Rachel Zegler is the reason that this did so poorly. She acted well for what she was given. Her singing was great, but everything else was extremely bad. It's a reimagining of the original story, but it's similar enough so you can see the comparisons. And it's about Snow White being born to a king and queen in a generic medieval land. Snow White's mother dies and her father remarries Gal Gadot, who manipulates him and takes control of the kingdom, turning it into a dystopian nightmare. After being confronted by Snow White, the evil queen sends her to the forest to get by the huntsman. But the huntsman's like, nah, I'm chill. You can go free. And then she encounters 7 CGI dwarfs. The evil queen then finds out that she's still alive, turns into an old crone, tricks Snow White into eating a poison apple, and then she falls into a to quote the original story, a death-like sleep. That's it. Until she's woken up by a kiss on the lips by Jonathan. Oh, that's right. It's not a prince in this movie, it's a bandit, and his name is Jonathan, who I didn't even mention because it doesn't matter. Some of the issues that I had with the film was that it felt bland, it lacked the magic of the original, the CGI was cartoonish. The most evil part about the Queen was that her acting was so bad, and her singing wasn't even any better.
No doubt when I'm going out, mirror on the wall.
And this has been talked about a lot recently. People currently are making fun of Gal Gadot and her worst line deliveries.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile. Kalel, no. Max Lord, you're putting yourself and everyone else in grave danger.
My God, bro. Even Pedro Pascal is confused and horrified by the line delivery of Gal Gadot. Wait, we're not done.
I need you to give me the stone. What happened to it? Just tell me what it costs to get her away from me. Name a price. I'll buy the whole damn boat if I have to.
Here's one from the movie. She just doesn't know how to say no. I made some notes while I was watching the film. I said that the costumes look like Party City outfits. I said that the Once Upon a Time did it better. I said the style choices were questionable. I wrote Gal Gadot, not as bad as I thought. She was worse. That's a good one. There were pauses for laughter in the movie, but nobody was there to laugh. Then I named a bunch of better actresses that did a better job being the evil queen. I wrote Cate Blanchett in Cinderella, she was better. Angelina Jolie in Maleficent, fantastic. Little Mermaid, Melissa McCarthy. I even wrote Charlize Theron in Snow White and the Huntsman was better than this. I said that the dwarfs looked surreal. They could have used real actors. And I kept waiting for the evil queen to turn into a dragon. Then I realized that was Sleeping Beauty and not Snow White. So, spoiler alert, there are no dragons in this film. A lot of people kept saying that this movie did poorly because of political reasons or because it was too woke. But no, it was just a bad movie.
Did I frighten you?
Gal Gadot's acting is not a performance you watch, but a performance you survive.
No!